Good morning, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. Wearing red. Go Big Red, by the way. I went on a run this morning in this beautiful town and got catcalled by no less than 3 men whom I gave the finger. This is not new, ladies, I'm sure, as you're aware, if you've ever run outside, if you've ever dared to run outside. And it got me thinking about a lot of things and the fact that I want to say some stuff today. And what I'm going to say is, I could say so much. I could talk for an hour, but I'm going to keep focused and I'm going to talk directly to women and girls. And if you're not one of those, then you can show this video to your sister or your daughter or your mom or your friend who is. When I think about my life so far as a female, and the things that we are up against and the things that we are able to fight and deny from being barriers in our life, the things we can and cannot deny. I think about the fact that I was not necessarily willing, but forced to come to terms with the fact that I was different than your average girl, and made a decision to embrace that instead of just continuing to try to fit in a box. So I say that I was forced to come to terms with that because it's who I was. So I didn't say I want to be different and I love being different and I'm going to embrace being different. I wanted to be like everybody else. I wanted to not have terrible acne as a kid. I wanted to be skinny. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be liked. All of those things. And I wasn't. Or at least I felt like I wasn't. I also wanted to be number one in the class. I also wanted to do things that girls didn't normally do or people didn't think that girls could do. I wanted to learn how to program. I wanted to beat all the boys in the mile and in the pull-ups test we did pull-ups, and in the push-ups test we did push-ups. And if you were riding a bike, I wanted to race you. And when I punched my brother in the stomach, I wanted him to tell me it hurt instead of saying it never did. I don't think that's happened yet. I wanted to be like my big sister, who was all of these things. Number one in her class. Faster, stronger, better. I wanted to be like her. But being that woman and being socially acceptable are not the same thing. So I had to make a decision. Am I going to embrace being different? Or am I going to go ahead and try to fit in everybody's box? And that is a huge critical decision in every girl and woman's life, and it's never too late to make it. It's never too late to make it. My daughter is 7.5 years old, and at the end of a long day last week, I'm just trying to get her to bed so that I can relax and eat dinner and go to bed myself. She said to me, took a deep breath and said, "Mommy, sometimes I just lay in bed and I look up at the ceiling and I think, why am I so different from everybody else?" And man, what a loaded question. And I tried to tell her, and we've had similar conversations before, and I just hope she's listening, and I hope she's getting it, that the worst thing you can do is try to be like everybody else. The only thing you can be the absolute best at, no one can argue, is being yourself. And the best thing you can do is drop any F's that you give about what other people think. And I know that's cliche. Everybody says it, but I mean it. I'm talking as soon as you start to feel that knot in your gut, that you might not be enough for somebody else, that your pictures aren't pretty enough, that your skin doesn't look good enough, that you need this or that filter, that you need to make this or that angle, that you need to have this or those clothes, that you need to portray this type of life in order for people to think that you're doing good, in order for people to be jealous of you, in order for people to approve of you, whether they're outside your life or very close to you. When you start getting that feeling to conform and to please everything except for yourself in that way, you've just got to fight it. That's all I can tell you. You have to fight it. You have to look at yourself as your best friend would look at you and see all of the incredible things that are unique and that make you you. And then you have to go to work and work hard on appreciating those things, using them to the best of your abilities, and making the most of this one life that we're given. If I had worried about the fact that it was stupid to sit in my room for hours at a time reading the user manual of an HP 49 calculator, figuring out how to program it, I wouldn't be at this conference today as the Chief Technology Officer of the fastest growing land real estate brokerage in the country. I've had plenty of times in my life where I've second guessed what I'm doing and who I am and how I act and how I look, and I still do. But you have to fight every single day against that feeling. You have to fight that voice in your head, and you have to empower that voice, that other voice that's in your heart that says, I'm somebody. I'm special, I'm unique, I'm beautiful. I have passion. I have goals. There's plenty of great role models out there these days, you know. I mean, as recently as Jalen being a 3-year-old, it was so hard for me to find empowering books and clothes and toys for her. And I've really seen that change in the past 4 years alone. It's a good time to be a woman, ladies. It's a good time to be a woman. But you still have to fight the good fight. Because there's still a lot of pressure in the world through social media and media in general, your friends, your family, your significant other, to be a certain thing. And you have to decide, what do you really want? Do you want to be truly fulfilled? Do you want to be fully you? Or do you want to please everybody else? One of those things is possible. One of them is impossible. So I want you to make the decision today to pretend you're a flower girl walking down the aisle of a wedding, and instead of dropping flowers out of your basket, you're dropping F-bombs. Here's all the F's I don't give anymore. Drop them. And be yourself. Happy Women's Day.